Hey everybody, welcome to the Artist Coaching Podcast, the podcast for artists who are serious about their music career. Welcome back everybody. Jay, welcome.
What's up?
All good?
How are you?
It's been a while. Oh wait, I have to get Ralph in.
It hasn't been a while.
Hey Ralph, we are live.
We're live already.
Live
We're
already,
already
2 o'clock
live.
sharp.
Yeah.
I don't see Ralph yet. Is that on me?
Oh, I see Ralph.
I don't see him.
Oh, that's weird. Do you hear him?
Okay.
I do hear him, yeah.
That's
Well,
weird.
that's the
So
most
that's
important thing is that you hear me.
What's
it
going
is.
on with the mustache? Like, is that a new look or?
Mine?
Yeah.
No, it's just laziness.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to shave this morning, and I shave every like 4-ish days. So this is my 4-day beard.
Always starts itching, right? Like to me, it always starts itching after a couple of days.
Yeah, your beard does look like it's itching.
I just shaved.
Itchy beard.
You just shaved? Dude,
Yeah, man. Trimming.
That's
So not shaving, trimming.
oh, this is trimmed. Okay.
Yeah, like on the lowest
Jay,
lowest
you
amount of
shaved.
millimeters. Lowest amount of millimeters.
Okay, how manly.
Now, nice, right?
It's very
Hey,
nice.
what's up, Bit3? What's up, Gerard Francis? Welcome to the live stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Gerard, it has been fun meeting you last week at the artist coaching event. Let's start there, Jay. Because Ralph wasn't there, unfortunately. But what were your thoughts on it? Did you like it?
I loved it.
You loved it.
I mean, I love talking about myself, so that's what I came there to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, I realized what was so special about and what we're doing with artist coaching, because we're letting people build artist careers, but what we really were doing, and I noticed it with the roasting event, we're helping people find themselves so that they can, let's say, exploit, for lack of a better word, exploit that the best. But helping them find what makes them unique and makes them an actual artist. And I thought, I think we've been doing that, and we're building a community, but I think that's very interesting. And I think that's something that is important as an artist, that you know who you are and what your strengths are and what you can focus on. And especially with roasting, because for people listening that not know, we had people show their social media, and then we would live with the whole group roast them or give them tips or compliments.
The video is on YouTube, by the way. So if you've
it's
missed
on
it,
YouTube.
yeah, you can check it out on the channel.
Don't check it out now because you're listening now.
Yeah.
But it was fun because we found out about some people that, and they find out about themselves, like, this is actually one of my strengths, and I can do this better.
And to build on top of that, I haven't talked about this with you guys, but I think it's a great idea. I want to start doing a weekly roast in the podcast. So every week in the Discord, people can enter the raffle with a bot, and then when they get picked out, we go live, and in the podcast, we actually start roasting them live, just one person each week. And because I think, as you said, like I think it was so fun, it was very valuable, and I had so much feedback on it from people that they actually really liked it. So I think it's going to be a very nice element in the podcast, to be honest.
Let's do it.
Yeah, and Ralph's going to enjoy that as well. I'm 100% sure.
I like roasting things.
Yeah, like barbecuing.
By the way, where are you guys? Because
at home.
I'm at home.
You're both at home working.
No, I'm definitely working, but my normally it's Grandma's Day, but she made a mistake in her calendar, so my daughter is playing outside now, so I have to work from home.
Because the sound quality is less.
Last minute solutions, unfortunately. Life happens.
Okay. No, but good for you guys.
Good for you, yeah. By the way, welcome Lion Harris, Voster Gallardo, Legend, Siliox. Welcome everybody to the stream. I see a lot of names of people that were at the event, so please let us know in the chat what you thought of the event and if you liked it, if there's anything specific that you liked. So just let us know. How was the rest of ADE, Jay?
Good, man. My voice is slowly recovering because I love a good chat. So I've been yeah, all over the place, and yeah, it was very fun. I of course launched my new sound, melodic rave, and everybody heard of it that I spoke to. So they saw the video or they heard the music. So that was very exciting. Um, and like even Hartwell, I went to their of the label, their like mixer, and he came up to me and he said like, "Yeah, dude, this is awesome," and so that really is a big compliment for me. Um, and it's cool. It gives an extra little push for me to see, hey, I'm in the right direction. And yeah, I mean, it's ADE is always just like yeah, fun. It's just so much, and now I'm a bit sick as well. But like everybody after ADE, but
Yeah, I
we
had
keep going. So
I had multiple clients coming back on Monday or Tuesday texting me like, "Hey, can we replace the session because I'm sick, my throat's sour, my ear is infected, like all those things." So yeah, shit happens.
yeah,
It's ADE flu.
yeah. I went to the gym yesterday, and then I played paddle on the evening, and I think and I worked, and I think I wanted then like, always too much.
It's
So
the
I
work.
like
It's the work that
I should have just maybe took a day off, or like a proper day off. But where's the fun in that, you know?
okay. Ralph, did you get anything from ADE, as in from distance, as in on your socials or something? Did you pick up on something? Marlon was there,
I
right?
think it was more alive as ever,
Yeah,
and
I agree.
there was a lot of activity. Also, what I noticed it was like late editions, a lot of parties that were not planned a few weeks back, but now they were. A lot of pop-up stuff.
What do you mean, like
Uh,
last minute parties or?
yeah. I saw a lot of invitations coming in by people like really late, and
Mhm.
I think ADE was kind of um, done for a few years, but it felt so alive this year, being outside of it.
Yeah,
A
I
real
agree.
promo, and we got, if you count DJ Mag, we got 3 awards. DJ Mag
Three.
1001, and another one which is interesting. Here we go. Climax number 70. And what they do is actually, yeah, they mixing music and data, it says. They have all these parameters, all these data parameters, and according to those, they make their own top 100, and we were number 100. I don't can't not recall who was number one again. I think Geta and like John Summit was real high there, and Domdola, all these guys.
So that's
And
based on real data, you mean?
it's
Or
based on real data. You can check out the website, and they have all these things. It's like live shows, ticket sales, Spotify streaming, data from socials, and all that kind of stuff. And they have this mixture of it, and that actually gives you the position you have. It gives you a score, and then you get a position. So it's
interesting.
another way of looking at it, which I like, and it's cool. It's again a different list than the DJ Mag, and different from what 1001 is, and just gives another insight. But I'm actually really proud that we're in all 3 of them. So that's cool.
Yeah, I can imagine. Congrats. What were
Gracias.
the end numbers on each list? So 100?
Sorry,
You were
100?
100th in the climax list?
No, 70.
Oh, 70, and then the other?
1001, the top 101, we were, thought 61, and DJ Mag 45, 46, I actually don't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Congrats. Big achievement.
Nice, yeah.
yeah. So that's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, but I definitely agree with you. As in, I kind of felt the same thing being there. That ADE is more alive than ever. So many international people there. I don't think I've seen so many people flying in before, because it's quite a big investment, right? It takes a lot of effort to get there, but somehow it attracts people from all over the world. So it was a very cool addition, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah, dance music's really like back up again and inventive again since COVID, let's say. I feel like we're up to speed again. There's a lot of new music, new artists, and that's what you feel, and that's what everybody that's an aspiring artist also feels there. I think that's the energy that's around there. It's really awesome.
And it's not just one thing, but that's
Job
what we
is really
talk about.
loud, by the way.
Yeah, Jay's really loud, I know.
Maybe now I'm less loud, I think.
Yeah. But that's what we talked about as well. Like there's multiple genres at the same time popping off, right? So it's not just all built around one genre. You can see different styles, different parties, different kind of people, all under one umbrella, which is dance music. But it's like different niches were active in the same week, which was very interesting. Let me open the door. That's my daughter. You guys talk.
I still can't see Ralph in the software, only on YouTube.
Okay. Well, hi Jay, it's Ralph from YouTube.
Hey Ralph, YouTube Ralph. There's such a big delay on YouTube.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm in the future right now.
Yeah, in the past, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm in the, oh man. No, because you hear me in the future.
Oh, I hear your voice. And in this case, sound travels faster than light. It's
like how many fingers?
3. Oh, I was 4.
we got another donation from the one and only Melodramatic. He was here last week in Amsterdam. He donated another $50 for beer money.
Let's go.
Yeah, shame I missed it.
Well, I have to say,
back in the pot. Yeah, the beer money's gone now, man. After last week, it's gone.
I have to say, Melodramatic, thank you for all the beer money, and you're welcome for the beers that I gave you at Revealed.
At Revealed, yeah.
Which had an open bar.
Oh.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun night, though. Like, I saw so many faces from back in the days, you know, my old booker, my old manager, so many artists. It was a very, very cool mixture, to be honest.
Yeah, it was very fun. And we had a great dinner in our restaurant that we specifically chose.
Dude, the carbonara there was amazing, though. It was a lot.
Funny.
It was a lot. But
so Joey and me, we walked to a restaurant. We're like, oh, that's a good one. Looks good on Google. So we walk to the door and we sit down, and then we get the menu, and it's like, that's a different name on the menu. So we sat down in the wrong restaurant, right next door.
Good decision, though. It was a great Italian.
Yeah, it was fun. It was nice.
Exactly. Okay, guys. We have Isan Kara and Josh Letichet tuning in. Ghost Production is welcome here as well. Josh is actually on his way to Asia again for another mini tour, I think. I don't know.
Cool.
So yeah, he's doing very well. You met him as well, right, Jay? Last week.
Yeah, a few times already. I've seen him the last few years at ADE and in London. And, yeah.
Okay.
Always good seeing Josh.
Exactly. Guys, let's go to the clip of the week. Let me pull it up.
Where's the audio clip?
Here we go.
Hey, first, the jingle.
What? Oh, shit. Here we go. Clip of the week. Every week we talk about a clip that stood out to us. We discuss it in this podcast, and this time it was one from Ralph, who sent in a clip from DJ Mac Official in collaboration with Fumi. To be honest, I didn't heard of her, but I checked her out. It's within your lane, Ralph, so I can see why you came up with it. It's that genre.
I can get why you've never heard of her.
Why?
Because you're a big boomer.
Nah, man. Never.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Making parties, start hosting raves, start working with other artists in these small ways. You know, don't aim to go play at Tomorrowland, you know. I think if you start small and you set your goals that are within reach, but reasonable in a way, you know, each milestone feels like a really big accomplishment, you know, and then you don't beat yourself up for not getting that huge club gig that you wanted or not playing on the lineup that you wanted, you know. You celebrate the fact that like you hosted a party with your friends in the middle of the woods and you didn't get caught. Like this feels like a big win, you know, and just take it from there step by step and yeah, keep going. Start making.
Okay.
I agree for 50%.
Okay.
Because I really agree with the fact that she says, oh, let me first say what I disagree with. She says, don't aim for Tomorrowland. So basically aim small. I think that's bad advice. I think you should aim big. I think you should have goals that are in the future that are big, you know, and they don't have to be, maybe Tomorrowland is not your big, but what is big for you. But what I really like about her statement is like you should celebrate the small victories. And she says, like, if you play for friends and stuff, and I think that is really important. But I do think you have to aim big, but do celebrate those small little milestones, even if it's like, hey, I finished a track. You know, that's something you can be proud of. And I think that's really good about this. Yeah, so that's why I agree 50-50 with what she's saying.
What about you, Ralph?
Yeah, I thought it was a fresh take. I think if I look back at my own career, this advice would be really helpful. I think a lot of the small wins we didn't celebrate enough, and I think in this way it's way more fun. And actually, what she says just makes a lot of sense, and you got to celebrate those small wins, and they will get you to that end goal.
Yeah.
So I don't think she says she basically like write off playing Tomorrowland as a goal, but how I interpret what she says is don't make it that the first goal, you know, just
exactly.
go
Break
one
it up.
step at a time. And I think, yeah, she nails it. And how she says it is just spot on.
Yeah. You know why those small wins are so important to celebrate? It's because that keeps up the motivation. And especially in the early days of your artist career, it's one of the hardest parts is to maintain the motivation because you keep getting so many no's and there's so many things that don't go the way you want it to go. So when there is something to celebrate, like a gig in the woods or a release that you signed or your first 10,000 streams, whatever it might be, it's good to stand still for a second and to celebrate that because that keeps up the motivation to go on and keep on achieving the next small goal, right? And
I mean, it's not even in the beginning of a career. It's
no,
throughout the whole career. It's
yeah,
important to have celebrate those small victories that don't mean much to other people, but to you they do.
yeah. Yeah, I agree. But also what Ralph mentioned a couple of episodes ago, like it's also important to have that vision, which she might call Tomorrowland, right? So that's the big vision, but like breaking it down in smaller, digestible, achievable goals just makes it a lot more fun. Because if you're just going for Tomorrowland, it's going to be a very tough and big cookie to eat. So yeah, it's very good advice. I liked it. Okay.
I actually like social media being here for that reason, because social media was a little bit less and it just had different bits of information. But this would be advice for my younger self. That would be really come in, yeah, handy.
I don't know how you experience those things, but to me personally, I really believe that the algorithms by now are so helpful because they give up so much valuable content to you. If you just click the right things, you get so many valuable insights, good content, good quality. So if you make it work for you, you actually get a lot of value out of it, to be honest. Like I think this is a good time to be alive, right? You get perfect advice from the people you want it from. There's also a lot of shit.
Except on Twitter, because I don't know what's going on there. But man, I'm a mean person if I check out my algorithm there.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everybody kind of is there.
It's
But
like also the direct opposite. Like my Instagram is mostly surf,
chicks.
padel, there's some stuff in the ocean, Formula One, and then a lot of music. And then Twitter is this. I'm apparently a Republican, angry person. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. But if you consume the right things and the algorithm starts giving you more of it, it's actually a very helpful tool. To be honest.
Yeah. True.
I think like Jay and I were talking about it before as well, and we also did, Ralph, briefly, that a lot of people told me during ADE that they were watching our clips. It's the same thing, right? Like the algorithm just keeps pushing the clips in front of people that might be interested in it. So DJs, producers, artists, those type of persons, and it works. So as an artist, I think this is something you can use, because now more than ever, even without a big account, you can still reach a lot of people as long as the content resonates with the audience in some kind of way. What's your opinion on that?
100% true.
Yeah?
Community questions?
Yeah, we can do community questions. Hey, quick break. If you're an artist who's serious about growing his career, but you feel stuck and you don't know what to do, you feel overwhelmed, that's exactly what we help you with at Artist Coaching. At Artist Coaching, we offer one-on-one personal coaching for DJs and music producers who want to turn their passion into a sustainable career. Whether you're struggling with finishing your music, building your brand, or just figuring out how to stand out, we've been there and we can help. If that sounds like you, head over to artistcoaching.nl and book your free intake call so we can check where you're at in your career and see if we can help you. All right, back to the episode.
Yeah. Ralph's in a hurry.
Yeah,
no, not at all, but I just like him.
I do like him too.
Okay. Community questions. As always, we take on questions from the community, which we gather in the Discord throughout the week. If you're not part of that Discord yet, make sure to click the link in the description. There is a link there which leads you to that Discord, and you can drop your questions there, talk to many other artists, get feedback on your music, enter the raffle for the career roasts next week. It's all happening there. So if you're not part of that yet, make sure to go there. Let's go to the first question, which is from McLaren. So I'm a big room techno producer. My sound is kind of in between Bassjackers, Hardwell, and Josh's style. When I send demos out, I always make sure to target labels that are releasing that kind of sound. But sometimes the response I get is still like it's not aligned with our label direction. And that makes me wonder, how do you really know when to just follow your creative flow and what feels right versus when to shape your sound into something that an A&R would actually want to hear? It's a very good question, to be honest. Let's go.
Yeah. Jopke.
Well, how do you really know? You never really know. That's the beauty of it. You never really know if your sound and what you make and feel are gonna align with a label or people. But what I do think is like, I would stick to your style and keep shopping at labels and in the meantime release. Because if a label just clearly says like that it's not aligned with our label, I don't think you can then bend that style enough to get it aligned with them. But then again, different tracks could sound different to them. I would not focus too much on what labels think and should I produce for the A&Rs, because the A&Rs are a bit behind these days. They're behind what's really happening in the scene. Well, you're better off going directly to the DJs and checking what they are playing if you want to adjust your style. And I think you should always take some inspiration. But the DJs in the dance floor, that's where it's at. That's where you're gonna see if something works. And hopefully, if you're a DJ yourself, you can test stuff out. And otherwise, you gotta rely on DJ sets and going to see DJs and try to get your demos to them. Rather than, oh, I need a label, so I'm gonna see what the A&R likes.
No, I do think that you shouldn't value the opinion of an A&R too much. But for some A&Rs, there are some good A&Rs out there that give decent, good feedback. And I think what it has to do with is you should not necessarily change the core of your track, but if there's like slight changes, so maybe arrangement changes or maybe some edits here and there that just make the flow of the track a bit better, but doesn't necessarily change the core of the song, I think that's feedback you can definitely add into the song. But if they really want a completely different song, which is just not your thing, I wouldn't change it. Then it's just not your label, or it's not the track for that label, but don't change the core of the song because that's your authentic self. But if it's just very practical, technical feedback that just works better, sure, why not?
Yeah, but also the feedback that you get isn't per se like useful feedback.
Yeah,
Most of the time.
that just depends on which A&R you have, right?
I always read into it like they're not just into you, and for whatever reason, they just don't like the track.
Yeah.
End of story.
Did you ever edit a song because of A&R feedback? Did you ever change something?
Dude, yeah, man. But that's different.
It's
Yeah, I
usually when
did.
there's already an initial interest in a track.
Yeah. Then they will say, we like it, but. But in here, yeah, to be honest, sometimes I get music and people ask for feedback. And then I'm actually just like, I don't know, but I don't like the track. Quality is okay. I just don't
Yeah.
like it.
Just not
Okay.
your style.
And also, yeah, that's for a label. Yeah, they just don't like it, and that's okay. But I do think, because that's also part of the question, in what respect should you also finish your tracks or take into account that they don't like it, but you still have the aim. You can like cater to those labels, cater to those A&Rs a little bit, because you see and hear the music that's put out on that label, so you can cater it into that sound, that spectrum of sound that they do release. And let's take Revealed, for instance. They are like the true big room sound. They always have these like kicks with these high transients on them, and yeah, it's in that respect, I think a lot of the tracks there sound alike. So yeah, if that's your goal and you also like that, then I would listen to all those little elements that make reveal tracks. Um, yeah, and I think that's something you can consider. That's not per se like throwing away your own identity that's in a track. Yeah, although I would never do those transient kicks nowadays, but yeah.
Someone in the chat, Legend says, like, he gave, like, I think it's an example of kind of feedback that you might get. We didn't like the second drop when it goes triplet. Keep it like the first one. Like, is that something you would change in the song?
Well, yeah, triplets. To be honest, triplets are always hard, and it's yeah, it can work, but there's a high probability that it doesn't work.
Because
I
it's
mean, triplets.
complicated, or
Well, it's harder to mix in and out, for instance. And what then? Do you want to start out a track just 4 to the 4, a normal rhythm, then drop in triplet and change it back? That always you have to like nail that. And when you do, it's really cool. But it's like going for a 10, um, and then you have to get that 10. You cannot like get an 8. But if you go out for an 8, you can get
yeah.
away with an 8.
So if you would get that kind of feedback, you would just listen to it and feel like, okay, he might be right though, because
Yeah.
triplets are tough. So maybe I should keep it like 4 to the floor on the second drop.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would consider it. And but if you want to stick to the triplet,
Yeah.
then the label and you are going your separate ways.
Yeah,
And
exactly. I
yeah,
think going back to that 80-20% rule, I think you should be confident enough about the 80% of the track that you just don't want to change, because that's the creative part of the song, that's your authentic self. But you should always be open for feedback and see like, hey, maybe it could become better if this 20%, 10% gets tweaked. I think
mm,
that's kind of where you should look it for. And just be very careful with what you change and what you listen to. But A&Rs are definitely not always right. You should always
Basically,
think for yourself.
it's in life, and compromise is part of life. And you can be stubborn as fuck and always put your foot down. And but I don't think that's the way. I think when you get together, you can achieve more and just talk about music. I mean, also, we don't like One Direction per se. Maybe we all like the band One Direction, but we can like different ways, and it's always good to talk about and listen to A&Rs, as opposed to what Jobke said. A&Rs aren't that stupid. They know their shit. They listen to a lot of music, and you can always choose not to listen. That's perfectly fine. They will respect that as well. And then it's on to the next one, and the next one can be for them. Yeah.
Remember,
But
I know you
Jobke
did this.
basically all called them stupid. I like that. Yeah,
No,
Jobke.
I'd say they're always behind. A lot of them are behind.
Yeah.
And a good
A lot of
A&R is knows what's coming, knows what's good. And a good A&R, there's not many I have met in my career. There's a few, which I'm greatly respect. But there's also a lot that I think do less good,
Yeah,
or
but you know, you always if you think about being an A&R, it's sometimes a pretty hard job because there's a lot going on, but you have to protect that core value of a label and the brand it entails. So what you cannot do is always jump on everything that comes by, and I think that's hard to do. And they might be in conflict with what their heart wants and what the mind uh, uh, rationalizes. So give them a break.
Yeah, it's a tough
Give them a
job.
break, Jobke. Be gentle.
Don't be too hard on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean the most annoying A&R is working at my label.
That's
Yeah,
you.
it's me.
Oh yeah.
The toughest
He's
guy.
Yeah.
the toughest A&R I've worked with, man. Nothing's good enough.
Stubborn piece of shit.
Very fucking stubborn.
Okay, next question. Question for the boys.
The boys, the men.
Why do I oftentimes feel anxious when I open up my door and try to work on music? I know I want to make music, it's something I love, but it's like my brain is blocking me from starting a project because I feel like every song I make has to be a hit and release worthy. It's a bad mindset, and that's something not even most successful producers can achieve. Anyways, I need to get rid of that mindset as it's keeping me down. Have you experienced this, and how did you deal with it?
I mean, you already know what you should do, get rid of that mindset. This is like, I think this is something, and I wouldn't say I've ever been actually anxious, but just like felt uninspired or whatever. This comes and goes, I think. There's always periods where you feel like you can't create stuff. But I took away that whole thing of you like it needs to be a hit and release worthy. If I start something new, I put a timer so that I work on it long enough to find the actual idea that's maybe there. And I make sure I don't think at all of what it should be. So it can be one melody or a note or a one sample downloaded from Splice, as long as I work in that project for half an hour. And I found that I make a lot of good ideas out of that because I'm not like normally after 10 minutes I'm like, oh, or before I would be like, oh no, it's gonna be bad, this sucks, whatever, I quit. But now I'm after 10 minutes like, okay, this sucks, but who cares anyways? And I just continue and continue for another 20 minutes, and you make something often quite cool and something totally different from where you started from it, at least half the time. So, and then you get realized that that whole writer's block or having no inspiration is kind of doesn't exist. You just have to sit and don't judge what it's gonna be. I think that's the most important thing. I don't care if I start a new idea, I don't care if it's good, bad, long, short. I just make. And then comes the process of, do I actually like this? But that's like in a later stadium.
Yeah. I think you nailed it with that technique that you told us about, like the what is it, 20, 30 minutes a day or something.
Yeah.
Because that pushes you to not overthink the process and just make. Because what happens for most producers, if they open the door and there's just this empty screen watching them, you get caught and overwhelmed by all the ideas that you might have, all the things you want to achieve. But the real option you need to do there is just get started, right? Just do the work, sit down, put down that first note, put down that first bar, that first kick, and just get started. Because once you're in it and stop thinking that much about it, the creativity will probably just flow.
Yeah.
And
And also then you get a lot of ideas and you want a lot to finish. But I tell myself, if I go to the studio, no, I have to start a new idea first. And I'm like, oh, but I want to work on that other one. And then like I quickly just make this. So you even get less worried about if that new idea is good, which makes you make even better ideas. And it's
yeah,
really like crazy how you can trick your mind into just making new stuff without even thinking if it's good.
yeah,
And then also sometimes I hear like tracks from released artists and like huge artists and then I'm like, this sounds like shit. It's easy. Like sometimes I hear a track and it's like I don't like it. It's a big artist, big track, and I'm like I can do that. That
yeah,
also helps. So check out stuff that's released from artists you kind of follow that you don't like or think is too simple. And I have that sometimes, and that makes me feel motivated. Like if they can make a hit with something that easy,
yeah.
it's easy. And then you trick yourself into believing it's easy, and stuff like that. You really have to trick yourself a little bit.
How's that for you been, Ralph? Have you ever dealt with those thoughts, or like watching the empty screen? Like, what's your process there?
Yeah, I'm never anxious when I get to the studio. So I'm a bit of useless guy right here.
No, but
No
how do
advice
you,
at all.
because you don't have it, so there's probably a reason why you don't have it. So if you open your door and there's this empty screen, like, what do you do? What's your next step? Do you think first, or do you just start?
No, yeah, it's kind of a mixture. I do sometimes open the project I want to work on, even though I should finish something different. I actually did that today. Um,
Rebel.
Hey, fuck him. And no, but yeah, you just try your best, and yeah, stuff is not never. If you set out to make a hit, then you're gonna be really frustrated.
Yeah, the bar is
That's
just too
not how
high,
it
right?
works. And a hit. I always think a hit is called a hit because you just hit it for no reason. I mean, yeah, but it's really hard to keep on
Very clear. Very
keep
clear.
on hitting it, and I don't know that many artists and especially dance producers that keep on making hits. It's
No.
impossible. I mean, the only one maybe was Avicii and Calvin Harris, and for the
Yeah,
rest,
go no. Go
Get
to
up.
Avicii's Spotify. There's also songs in there that you're like,
of
it's
course, but they were pretty consistent.
They
And
had a
I
lot
think,
of
oh,
true,
yeah.
okay,
true.
you can
Same for
Yeah,
put
Geta.
Geta in there as well.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, he works differently from those artists, as he has like big teams. And but yeah, okay, he's consistent at scoring hits as well. Yeah, but for the rest, yeah, who keeps on? I mean, it's just about putting down a sound you would like to see and hear on a dance floor.
Mhm.
And that's also what dance music is about. I mean, it's not about making hits, and it doesn't matter. And if nobody picks up your record, yeah, then it's probably shit. But also, that's not what it's about in the end. It's about your vision.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
true. Good
But
points.
okay, I get it. It's a little bit, yeah, that's maybe too idealistically said. But I mean, if you're anxious to open up your door, you can also ask yourself, is it about that, or is there something underlying going on? Because yeah, you should never be anxious to do something you love.
Maybe you're in the wrong DAW. Maybe if you're in Ableton, get out of Ableton, man.
Yeah, or
Do
maybe
FL
you're making
Studio.
the wrong music. That's also possible. Like maybe you're making music that everybody else likes, and that's why you think you should make it, but maybe it's not the one you actually want to make. So that's also a question you should ask yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, would I still make this if nobody was watching? It's a good question to ask yourself.
Yeah, you know, I'm always a big advocate of taking in your surroundings and the world you're living in, and be a part of it and really notice what's going on there. But eventually, it's also about doing the stuff that you really like and love. The sound that you put down in your door every day must be something you really love as well.
Yeah,
And
Yeah, there must be some kind of vision to work from, and also you have to not expect that to be there always. I think that's also important. Sometimes you don't have the feeling of that vision. There's years where I didn't have it. But you still need to create. So you still keep making music if you want to do that. And if you feel anxious every time you make music, maybe it's you should stop and wait for a while and see, hey, is this for me? You know, because I think you shouldn't do something in your life that makes you that anxious, to be honest. So
yeah. Okay, next question.
but I do play golf, and that also makes me anxious.
You,
So maybe
next question from Lewis Late. Earlier in the year, I self-released a track which was more successful than any of my label releases. I've recently been approached by another producer who asked about remixing my track. I like the sound of their stuff and I'm open to the idea, but as I've never worked with an official remix myself, I was unsure of how it works. Would I need to make a contract regarding the rights and the royalties, or am I overthinking it and should I just give in them and go ahead?
well, with a remix, you usually keep all your rights, so your master rights and your publishing rights and everything, and you would usually pay a fee or not even to the remixer, and you would release it through your own distribution, and you could have some kind of like royalty agreement, like, but usually that's not the thing. Usually the case is, hey, you pay the remixer, and in this case, he asked to remix it, so maybe you shouldn't even. And yeah, you can have a little contract, just ChatGPT it and see
Just a one
if you can
pager.
fully understand. Yeah, just a one pager. Don't make it too difficult. You can also just say, hey, I'll just only put it on SoundCloud or whatever. Like it's yeah.
Maybe an agreement would be smart, but as you said, Jay, like just a one pager where you kind of put the most important things on one piece of paper and just put your autographs on it always
Yeah,
helps.
just that it's very clear who keeps the rights, meaning you, and if there's any like payment and stuff like that, that's also in there. But just so you know, usually when I've done remixes, it's one flat remix fee, and I keep there's no master points for me. There's no royalties on the remix itself. So I just get one time some money.
Yeah. Okay. Question from George Letiche. What's up,
J-Dog.
AC legends, sorry. Thanks for a fun lunch last week at ADE. That was very fun. Talking of ADE, I have some follow-up calls with booking agents. What's the best way to approach these calls? Any rookie mistakes to avoid or advice to get the most out of the calls? Cheers.
No, just call him up. Hey, it was great meeting you. And when shall we sit down and talk?
Yeah. But are there certain specific
I
things you should
think
be aware of?
I think
No.
have your vision ready a bit. What is it you want to achieve? What is the sound you will play? Where do you see yourself? What other artists can you compare yourself to now, and where do you want to be?
Yeah.
Those kind of questions I think are very important for them to see, oh, this is what we're working with. I recently signed with Dedicated, and I made sure that we're on the same page to what my goals are, and like that they're also working towards that. And I think
Yeah.
that's something you wanna be aligned there. So you don't want to like convince them per se of oh, work with me, please, but more like, hey, are we on the same page? Is this going to be the right team for you as well? And this is advice that I actually have given friends as well, also with dating. You know, people get very nervous dating, and they're like, oh, I hope she'll like me, and this and that. But turn it around and say, hey, do I actually like her? And try to focus on that during the date. And it's something that's also very important, because then you kind of, yeah, think from that perspective, and it gives you a bit of confidence, usually.
Yeah, and just be yourself, right? Like just with dating, be yourself. And because that's what people should fall in love with. Your booker as well, they should love what you're doing and where you're going with the vision of your brand. And they have to amplify that. So they are just there to amplify your mission, your goals. But it's on you to decide on where you want to go. And they just have to get on board if they want to, yes or no. So yeah, as Jay said, be clear on what you want and where you're going. But also use that call just to kind of feel like, is there a personal connection with these people? Because you will be talking a lot. There will be a lot of communication. So you have to trust them. It's very important. So first try to figure out, like, is there a connection at all? And then afterwards you could check, like, hey, is there some value for me in it? As in, can they get me to a next level with their gigs, for example? I think that's kind of the way I should approach it. Any other takes, Ralph?
Nope.
Okay.
Well said, boys.
Well said, boys. What's up, Luca? Welcome. I think that's the first time, right? So I haven't seen that name in the chat before. What's up? Welcome. John and Mr. Smith is here again. Oh, do you remember John and Mr. Smith, Jay? The marathon runner.
Yes. Hell yes.
That was insane, right?
That was amazing.
That was. Question from Mr. Melodramatic. After ADE, I have seen a snowball effect in so many different ways and met with so many amazing people. What's the best way to follow up with everyone and keep the momentum moving, as there is too long of a list?
Yeah, make selection.
Yeah, priority selection probably. Like who is a priority to you, and start there and kind of work your way down, because there might be a lot of people who might be fun to know, but not necessarily important to know. And try to see if you can make a selection in that. So priority list, I think that's kind of the answer I have for you. And you guys, same thing?
Yeah, prioritize. And I mean, you can only do so much. So I think it's helpful to make a quick selection of what's more urgent and what you feel like doing also.
Yeah. Okay. If people in the live stream have any follow-up questions, please let us know. Those were the Discord questions, so we'll just take on.
And to add on to Melodramatic, also keep track of your output. So like your own music output, keep that going. Content output. So the contacts are important, but not everything. You want to keep your own stuff rolling as well, let's say.
Yeah. Oh, there's a question from Future coming in. When you start a studio day, what does that usually look like? Do you focus on one track the whole day, or do you divide your time between different tracks? Could you give an example of what a studio day might look like?
Always multiple tracks. Yeah, I started with one this morning, and then just before lunch, I went on to do the shit I should do. And I have a deadline for today, and I'm not done. And I should have been done. But yeah, it's just some projects aren't as much fun at a certain point anymore. You'll always like the projects more in the beginning than later on. I mean, if you listen to a certain sound 10,000 times over, yeah, you're a bit bored of it.
Kind of done with it, yeah.
Yeah, so no, I think my work in project folder is like 12 or 14 tracks, which I then divide my attention between, and then I look at the release schedule or shit that I really want to put out or send to other DJs, and they get a little bit of a favor vote. And if I then get stuck on them, then I just move on. And what I always also have is that I mean, our spectrum of what we do is not really narrow. It is to a certain point, but sometimes tracks are a little bit more hard than others. There's a spectrum there going on, and then sometimes I like to stay in a certain spectrum. Like if it's not like a really rough kick bass, but more muted, and then I stay in there because then I get to know those samples, and I live in that world briefly, and then I choose to stay in that. And then you have like 4 or 5 tracks with a similar sound that you can finish, and then move on, you know. But yeah, it's just however the wind blows, basically.
Yeah. What about you, Jay?
I get in the door, then there's a second door, I open it, then turn all the lights on, and then I go get a coffee.
It all
So I
started when I
run
was 12.
I run into Max. So we sit there for 2 hours talking about no. So what I do, and that's since like this year, that I start my day always with a new idea, first half hour. And like I always say, you always have to you can make a half an hour, you can make that work in your schedule, you know. Watch less Netflix at night or whatever. So that's what I do. I start a new idea. And then I end up with a lot of ideas, obviously. But then in the meantime, I have this kind of list as well of like 10 ideas that I'm already working on, and then what's going to be the next one that I finish. So I had an EP released that was 4 tracks. So I made sure to, in time, have like the selection of the 4 tracks and have them finished. So then I always do that right after I start the idea. Sometimes I work longer on the idea depending on the time that week. Um, and let's say in a week I have a few ideas. I always make sure to pick the best and make sure that's finished soon. So like I don't want to sit on a new idea too long. It has to be carved into like a, let's say 70-80% version. And this way I keep the tracks rolling, and I make sure that I have enough finished tracks and that I can actually choose from stuff that I want to release. And I didn't used to do this before. Before it was also always a bit like, oh, I just go in the studio and whatever, and always end up having everything to do last minute. But I got better at that. And I just was talking to Joey before. That's now, like, let's say, solved. So there's a lot of music, but now I'm seeing the next problem, which is content. And it's kind of a shame now that you just need to make time for that. You know, before it was you make music, you post one photo on Instagram, whatever. So I could get better at that. So I need to figure out a system, maybe also do half an hour a day of making a content idea. That's actually pretty smart. The last half hour of the day, something like that. But
You need to
yeah, I
you
need
need
to
to
get better
find
at that. But
structure.
like I said, music first. I have to keep that on track. And then I need to find time and people to work with to help me with my content towards going forward.
I think you're 100% right. Music is always the fundament of your whole career, so that's definitely the first thing that needs to be finished. But content is just the best way to get reach these days. I think the best way to deal with that is to build a structure in your daily schedule. So you, on a daily basis, you have time. You spend at least,
Yeah,
let's say, 30 minutes on it, and it becomes a habit after a few days, weeks, right? So eventually, you want to get it into your system that it's just part of what you do on a day, because it's such an important thing to do as an artist. So you definitely should spend time on it aside from your music production. Um, there was a question from Legend. How do we get into the artist coaching roasting raffle? We will be setting up a weekly raffle in the Discord, which you can just enter by clicking one button, and then you'll enter the raffle. And each week, the winning name will be revealed right for the podcast, and we'll just pick that name and we'll get started. So I'll set up that raffle after this podcast, and then you can actually enter it. What's actually fun about that studio technique, right? So how you have to start your day. there's so many different ways. You know, I know the Firebeats used to split it in 2 parts, I believe, during the day. So one day they worked, one part of the day, the morning they worked on a song, and in the afternoon they worked on a song. But last week I was talking with Dubvision, and he had a whole different system. So I think it's very personal, you know, like what works for you. Do you want to work on a track for one track during the whole day? Do you want to work on multiple tracks? Just see what works the best for you. I don't think there is a certain certain way to do it perfectly, to be honest. Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. You like this the funfair guy.
The what?
Okay. Welkom bij de breakdance.
Yeah. Last question from Atalo. Welcome to the live stream, by the way. How do you deal with the right and the left side of the brain while producing? The creative side of music and the educational engineering side of things. I think the way how Jay works is a great way to deal with it. So, yeah, well, explain it yourself.
It's easy. It's easy. You have headphones, you put them up, and
Just
then
left.
after a while you feel like, no, I'm too creative. I'm using too much of this side of the brain. So you put them the other way around. And then you use the other side of the brain. It's
No,
Boom.
just explain how you work.
neurology 101.
Explain how you work, because I think that's a good way to kind of make it a change between working on one side, so creative, and more focused on engineering, so the mixing and mastering, for example.
I focus the beginning of my day, let's say, on an idea, and I can do whatever I want. I have to work on a new idea, like music, in my DAW. So that's like fully creative. Usually I have some kind of vision, but also if there's no result, I don't care, and that makes me very free. And I usually come up with really usable ideas. And the rest of the day is usually finishing other ideas, and that's way more of a let's say technical, and all the like a lot of the ideas of the track are already in there, and then it's a lot about arrangement and mixing.
So engineering, right? So more like I think it's the right side of the brain.
Yeah. Although I like to use 100% of my brain, you know.
200%.
But yeah, the headphone thing also works. I mean,
Exactly. Guys, is there anything to share?
You know, no, I think it's a weird thing to think about beforehand. Like, how do you deal with the? I mean, we're not consciously using left or right stuff, you know.
I think it's a very smart thing to think about, because your brain has different ways of working, and if you're not aware of it, then you can't really use it. It actually might start working against you. So I think it's a very good question to ask, to be honest.
I think you're already down the lane of overthinking. I agree with Ralph on this. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
anything to share, guys?
No, but this is a thing that you are. Eh? You look at the dance scene, you go to parties, whatsoever. For some, at some respect, you must engage in it, or else, why do you like it? Do you like it from the outside, or? I mean, if I want to be an actor, probably I watch movies too, and I see actors. I go to plays, whatever, and then you make up what you would like to. Yeah, you make up your vision, and then
No, but I think it's
your
a different question that he asks. As in, like for me personally, I like the mixing and the mastering part. So I'm like
you like
I'm
the
tempted
mixing and the mastering part.
Yeah, I like that part. Yeah.
Okay,
So
I didn't know.
I'm tempted to go way much into depth into a sound, while I actually should be making a good melody first. So that's what I mean. Like, it's good to start with the creative part, make sure that's kind of done, because it's a different side of the
That's
brain.
because because that's also being creative.
Yes, but it's a different
Creativity
way of
lies
using
in
the
that
brain.
there's an ID, and they have to create that ID. And how you get from ID to a creation, that's the creative part. And doesn't matter
That's
if it's
being an
melodies
artist.
and or all that other shit. I mean, everything is important, and everything is
I
creativity.
kind of agree with that. I get what you say, and I think I agree with that part. But I do also agree with the fact, as Jay said, as in like kind of dividing it into two different tasks. That's just easier for your brain and more.
but
Yeah,
all the good artists, they actually have a really good sound. The amount of tracks that don't have a good sound that became famous or a little bit well known or a hit, however you want to call it, that's actually really scarce. I mean, if you listen to
it's
Chris Lake, the dude can mix. Skrillex, the dude can
yeah,
mix.
it
Fred
is all
again, he knows
creativity.
his shit.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
yeah.
I agree with Rob. It's all creativity, and
That's true.
it's also that finishing a track. Also, there's a lot of creative choices that are in mixing, for example. So
Yeah.
And I do agree because in dance you have a lot of niches or a lot of sounds that come up, and whenever a new sound comes up, and you have these new wave of DJs, that's actually happening all over since after COVID, especially. And then when there's this new sound, then it's a little bit immature and it has to evolve. And yes, then sometimes tracks that are played a lot don't sound that good. But time will actually, and the learning curve is easily, uh, yeah, gone. And within a year, the whole thing is up to par with the rest, you know.
Yeah.
But rest assured, most of the tracks that are being played, that are well received, they sound good as well.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
definitely true.
just as creative and important.
No, that's
But
true.
that's my vision of it. So that's why I don't
yeah,
get the whole. I mean, I have a brain, I'm a person, and I think, and I have a conscience and all that shit. Just make music, man.
Okay.
also talking about chilling,
Shilling.
my
My
Chilling.
EP, Melodic Rave, has been out since Friday. Go check it out. Go check out my new website. There's a demo drop. I use Trackstack now. Um,
Good
it's a lot
one.
of fun. It's a lot
Okay.
of fun.
Good tip. What about you, Ralph?
I think more people should download our Brighter Days remix we put out for free on SoundCloud. It's been played like a lot during ADE in big venues and small venues, and actually a lot of big artists downloaded it and they play it. But I always sometimes miss the ones that are less visible, and yeah, the numbers of support are like one of the biggest we've experienced last year, but the numbers of downloads actually fall behind of a lot of other tracks. And
Okay.
so head over to soundcloud.com/basscheckers and download our Brighter Days remix.
Great. For me, if you haven't downloaded my new book, it's available for free, called Happy in a Boring Life. It's available on artistcoaching.nl. You can get it there for free. There's an audiobook on Spotify and all the other platforms if you want to listen to it. I'm also going to drop a new YouTube series, which is called the Artist Coaching Sessions, where we go in depth into certain topics. So
Who's
that's
we?
exciting. Where I go in
Ah,
depth.
hey, that's my left part of the brain.
Exactly. And don't forget to check out the Discord because it's a great community. Last week we came together. It was very fun. And check out artistcoaching.nl. See you guys next week. By the way, next week we have another guest, a new guest, Arcando. Very, very cool guy. I met him last week at Stemmed. He makes crazy music. It's going to be a fun one. So Arcando is going to be the guest next week. Hope to see you there. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share it with your mother, friends, everybody. See you next week. Bye-bye.